Well, we are here on Hungerford Canal after the pike, perch, bit of just general predatory fishing with lures. No dead bait. I've got jerk baits, I've got Savage Gear line through trout, which is just a swim bait. I've got general plugs, I've got soft baits, I've got small jerk baits. So yeah, we're just going to see if we can't tempt any to take today. I fished with this one a few casts as the water's murky. I'm using bright coloured lures, so I'm going to swap over to another lure, but I'm going to stick a spinnerbait on because I feel that this is going to be what they're going to be after. Jerk baits are great in the winter, not saying that they don't work in the summer, just at the moment they're more active this time of year and are more willing to chase a spinnerbait. Let's give that a few pulls, make sure it's running right, and give it a few casts here, and then we'll move on and let it sink. Just slowly wind in. Nothing as yet. Water being murky, it's going to be a little bit harder than anticipated because there's more traffic in the canal than in the winter. Last time we fished Blenheim, last time I fished Blenheim, that was my Savage Gear lure. That was brand new. It looked like this one. I've upped the size. This is an 8-inch one. This is I think this is a 20-inch one. Yeah, and that weighs, if I remember rightly, 90 grams, because that one's 35 to 40 grams. So I think we might go with this one and have a little whirl with this one and see if we can't christen it on the canal. Yeah, I think that's. Still reckon bright lures. I'll give that a go later, but at the moment, if I can undo this clip, wet hands, it's not always ideal. I'll go for the bright orange one. That's really visible. That one you'll be able to see for a mile. Let's give it a little whirl. Gotta love the Salmo sliders. Just one of the best lures you can, well, one of the best lures I've used, no doubt. I've had loads of fish on them. And that's just this year. I mean, I've only started fishing with them this year, really. We will make our way down that way. Just let them mosey on up a bit, otherwise the dog will come back. I'm surprised I haven't had a fish here yet. I think this is my first summertime fishing here. I thought this bright orange one would have spite. That's where I don't get it back. Fishing's never always, doesn't always go to plan. God. This is why you got like 30 to 80 pound braid on, so you can just pull it and get your lure back. Ta-da! Right, let's try that again. I'll cut it short that time. This is why you use 80 pound braid, so you always get your lures back, but you end up with a hook like that. Really, I should have checked it before I carried on fishing. I know you got the other hooks that would potentially hook, but that ain't no good. So it's lure change, and I've got a bit of tackle sorting to do when I get home. Anyone that's done this sort of fishing will know you can't beat when that pike just comes up out of nowhere and nails that jerkbait. Well, I think it's time for a move. I spent more time in this place than I should have. Let's take a little walk up here and see what we've got. Another good little tip is where they feed the ducks. Always food source for little fish. It's always a food source for pike. But we're just going to stop here because I know there are some big perch along this bit. Tell you what would work really well today is an on-deck spinner. And true to form, I don't have one. Because I end up losing them. I think I've lost three of them already. I reckon that under that bridge is going to be where we'll get our first pike, to be honest. A lot of cover. Just stand under here and just have a few casts here. I've had quite a few here, so. I'm just hoping this. Well, let's see if there's any down there. Let's move back up here a bit. It's great having all these lures, but until you've found the pattern that works, you can spend most of the day just using the same lure. Do my bit for the canal. I think he's going to moor up here, right where we're fishing.
Oh yeah.
You all right? cast by what I believe is a coot or moorhen's nest. I might be wrong, but we will see. Somebody will probably say, yep, you're wrong, it's not either, it's just a clump of rubbish. But for it to be neatly piled like that, I think something must be sitting on that. I will find a picture. You've got all this hedge here, which is overhanging. That, to me, screams pike. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cross over and I'm going to cast this Savage Gear lure over that way. Because pike like cover, so that is where we're going. So let's but the pike here in this one tend to sit on the shallow shelf, so casting along the edge, letting the lure sink right to the bottom and then reeling it in is how we've caught most of our pike out of here. And the thing is, you've got to keep doing the same thing. Don't worry about the boats. This is what we call a pike's heaven, because there's a lot of cover here. I'm just hoping that there's one home. Boats have been a bit more annoying today than I thought they were going to be, but that is the joys of fishing here in the summer. In the winter, they're not so bad. They tend to moor up and stay up. But we'll see. We'll continue to plug on. Excuse the pun. And see if we can't get anything out. I don't know what that was. Whether that was a fish or... I mean, this is a great spot for normal fishing, like perch, roach, bream. There's some tension here. Almost wish I bought one of them rods. Someone did grab that because that hook's been pulled out of its housing. Because on Savage Gear lures you get like a little housing. Inside here there's a little hole which that slips into. And also I've lost an eye. If you get like a take like I just did, it pulls it out if you don't hook them. The old style didn't have this. I mean, you can take this off and you can just push a hook in there like that. But the hookup rate is apparently not as good. But one take and I still managed to miss it. Which is typical. So it's now 12 o'clock and I've had 3 or 4 touches and that is it. I've had one decent pull just now and I can't even hook it. I'm just hoping it's still about because I didn't I didn't hook it properly. Didn't hook it properly, which is a good thing. Right, we know this part of the stretch holds a fair amount of pike, as in the winter you can see them. So I'm hoping that's still here now, be it really murky and it's not really what I want. It's strange because you'll fish the river, which is really murky, with a lure, but I don't know, it doesn't feel the same fishing here in murky water, especially when you fished it in the winter and it's been clear and you can see like 2 foot. And now I just can't, even with the Polaroids, you can't really see much. Give it a... I think the reason people do the winter piking is because that's when they pack on the most weight, because they breed earlier on in the year rather than like now. So, but summer piking is supposed to be just as good, but at the moment I couldn't catch a cold. As much as I'm throwing this thing in the water and reeling it in, I really don't know what I've got to do. I mean, there's loads of fry about, so it's could just be the time of day, you know. Could just be the time of day. Tell you what, we'll have one more cast, and then we'll move up. Thing is, you can't really prime your swim for pike unless you're dead baiting. Well, I suppose you can always pre-bait with chum, I suppose. Cut a couple of days or the day before or the night before, and then fish that area because the smell's going to bring the pike in. Never really done that myself, but fishing sandwich slider, bright jerkbait again, because like the pro I am, I've already lost one. One of my favourite ones, my damn jerkbait on the bottom. Don't know what on, whatever it was, it did move, but it was too heavy for me to get me lure back. And even on 30-pound braid, there's only a certain amount of tugging it will tolerate. People will say, oh, you need bigger braid. No, you don't. Kick it over there. Just let it sink a little bit. I'm losing the will to live. Just casting up against there. There might be some there. Jeez Louise. This has been a really tough